Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. We are here on Tuesday, October 17th, to look at the new releases of the week of this week. Today, we're going to be looking at mysteries. I hope you're having a good day so far. I know it's early for a lot of people watching this. Good morning, good afternoon, Annalise. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Let us know how it's going. Let's see. I finished last night An Unexpected Peril by Deanna Rayburn. That was 6th in the Veronica Speedwell series. I gave it a 5 stars. It's a great series. I like it a lot. Good morning, Mary. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope your morning is going well. I'm going to turn off that banner. All right, let's jump into mysteries. Let's save this one. John Grisham has a new one, The Exchange. This is a sequel to The Firm from quite a few decades ago. The Exchange by John Grisham. What became of Mitch and Abby McDear after they exposed the crimes of Memphis law firm Bandini, Lambert, and Locke and fled the country? The answer is in The Exchange, the riveting sequel to The Firm, the blockbuster thriller that launched the career of America's favorite storyteller. It is now 15 years later, and Mitch and Abby are living in Manhattan, where Mitch is a partner at the largest law firm in the world. When a mentor in Rome asks him for a favor that will take him far from home, Mitch finds himself at the center of a sinister plot that has worldwide implications, and once again endangers his colleagues, friends, and family. Mitch has become a master at staying one step ahead of his adversaries, but this time there's nowhere to hide. I wasn't necessarily going to read that, but maybe I will. I really, really loved that first book. That name I know, indeed. Mary finished Thicker Than Water by Meg. Wow, you zoomed through that and picked up a book on hold at the library. Historical romance. Love those. Yum. Indeed. Indeed, yummy. Call Me Hunter by Jim Shockey. An elite secret society of killers has controlled the world's treasures for hundreds of years, until one member tears himself free to salvage his soul and protect his daughter's life in this electrifying and thrilling debut. The single greatest work of art in the world is not in the Louvre or the Met or in any private collection. In fact, its whereabouts are unknown. Once in a long while, a child is born possessing the rarest of gifts, the innate ability to feel impossible beauty, to recognize priceless works of art. When such a child is discovered, a 250-year-old secret organization called Our World trains them to acquire the greatest works of art through theft, bribery, forgery, and even murder. Once found, the masterpiece will disappear again without anyone ever knowing it surfaced and sold for billions of dollars of profit at a secret auction attended by only the wealthiest of the art world's patrons. One of Our World's rare geniuses is Zhivago. He is also a psychopathic killer. On his trail is Hunter, a man who will stop at nothing to destroy the organization and save his daughter from suffering the same fate her mother did at his hands. I think there's elements there that are interesting. I just don't know if that can be pulled off. And at least I love historical romance. Indeed. I generally like Grisham. I have read several. I haven't read him lately. I've just had so much to read. That one might pull me in. You never know. And Mary asked how Annalise is going. Oh, she's doing well. Remember, we don't have Thunder Horse Descendant today. That's going to be a hard one to remember. Distant Suns by Tim Johnston. What if? What if Sean Cortland's old Chevy truck had broken down somewhere else? What if he'd never met Denise Givens, a waitress at a local tavern, and gotten into a bar fight defending her honor? Or offered a ride to Dan Young, another young man like Sean, burdened by secrets and just drifting through the small Wisconsin town? Instead, Sean enlists Dan help with a construction job in the basement of a local, the elderly reclusive Marion Devereaux, And gradually, the two men come to realize that they've washed up in a place haunted by the disappearance of three young boys decades earlier. As Sean and Dan's friendship deepens, and as Sean gets closer to Denise and her father, they come to the attention of a savvy local detective, Corinne Villegas, who has her own reasons for digging into Dan's past and for being unable to resist the pull of the town's unsolved mystery. And with each chance connection, an irreversible chain of events is set in motion that culminates in shattering violence and the revelation of long buried truths. Okay. A book about friendship and love and good hard work, and a masterful read about how the most random intersection of lives can have consequences both devastating and beautiful. That sounds deep. Good morning, Rebecca. Popped in to check out the books. Excellent. That's what we do too. We're just looking at the books this week. Very glad you're here. We're looking at mysteries today. The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. This is a novella in which an American art student in London is invited to join a classmate for the holidays at Starwood Hall, her family's Cotswold manor house. But behind the holly and the pine boughs, secrets are about to unravel, revealing the seemingly charming English village's grim history. Ashley Smith, an American art student in London for her junior year, was planning on spending Christmas alone, but a last-minute invitation from fellow student Emma Chapman brings her to Starwood Hall, country residence of the Chapman family. Cotswold Manor House, festooned in pine is a dream come true for Ashley. Okay, a lot of repetition there. She's mesmerized by the cozy firelit house, the large family, and the charming village of Clevedemore, but also by Adam Chapman, Emma's aloof and handsome brother. But Adam is being investigated by the local police over the recent brutal slaying of a girl from the village, and there is a mysterious stranger who haunts the woodland path between Starwood Hall and the local pub. Ashley begins to wonder what kind of story she is actually inhabiting. Is she in a grand romance, a gothic tale, or has she wandered into something far more sinister and terrifying than she ever imagined? Over 30 years later, the events of the horrific week are revisited, along with a diary from that time. What began in a small English village in 1989 reaches its ghostly conclusion in modern-day New York, many Christmas seasons later. That is The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. A lot happening there. Opulence and Ashes by Kate Belly. The rich are getting richer and stone cold dead in the next installment in Kate Belly's thrilling Gilded Gotham mystery series. Spring 1890. The long New York winter is over and buds are blossoming and romance is in the air, but not all's right in Gilded Age Manhattan. Genevieve, or Genevieve, however you want to say it, a society journalist and her fiancé Daniel are working with photographer Dagmar Hansen on an investigation into the House of Refuge, a children's workhouse inspired by Daniel's near incarceration when he was young. Genevieve is also working on her own piece for the Globe about the Sunflower Mission house, which burned down in a suspicious fire. When a blaze consumes Dagmar's studio and Genevieve barely escapes with her life in another, Daniel urges her to stop her investigation. But Genevieve is determined to finish the story, and her leads take her deep into the heart of the Bowery. When Genevieve suddenly goes missing, Daniel searches the city in a desperate effort to find her. When their new Fifth Avenue home is also set ablaze, Daniel fears the worst. Someone has their sights on Genevieve, and if she can't escape, she could be the next to go up in flames. I like me some historical mysteries. Great title, at least it's different. Great juxtaposition of the two things. Yeah. Leave the Lights On by Liv Anderson. A woman fights to hide her secrets as her life's idyllic facade begins to fall apart. Cape Morgan, Maine is the utopian ideal for a charmed life, and Beatrice Wicker knows it. The multi-million-dollar house on the sea coast, the joint bank accounts, the safety and security that go along with being married to an esteemed architect and community leader. The scenic coastline, perfect for her ambitious plan to turn an abandoned asylum into an artist retreat. But what if her husband sneaks off to see his second family now and again? Beatrice is willing to look the other way. It's simply the price she must pay to keep their life together. Josh doesn't realize that Beatrice knows about his other life. That's just one of Beatrice's secrets. And now that truth, along with the deadly host of other secrets from the past, is about to upend their false paradise. When there's an explosion at the local elementary school playground and a 2-year-old boy is abducted, it doesn't take Beatrice long to make the connection between the missing boy and her husband. It was the son from Josh's other life who was kidnapped, and Josh can't do anything about it without revealing the truth. Helping Josh find his son would destroy the facade of her perfect marriage and could put more children's lives in danger. But that's not all. It would reveal her deeper secret. Beatrice Wicker is not who she claims to be. Dot, 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 dot. Oh, still PC or not tablet issues me. I don't know how to use it. Went to hit like no one on tonight. It is then. Ah, I hate PC issues. As Mary says, I always feel antsy when that happens. Nothing seems to come together right when there are PC problems. Good luck. Indeed. Sending you good technology vibes. A Nutcracker Nightmare by Christina Romerl. When twin sisters Hannah and Alex help out at the local high school reunion, volunteering takes a turn when they find a former classmate's dead body. Hannah and Alex, owners of the Murder and Mayhem book and chocolate shop, are busy preparing for the Harriston High School reunion weekend. Neighbors will connect with old friends and perhaps try to avoid old foes. One person no one can avoid is Kyle, the former star quarterback, who is busy using his entire playbook to try and score with Hannah, even threatening her if she doesn't play nice. At the reunion, Alex glimpses more drama than nostalgia as insults are flung around like a football at a Friday night game. The party is put on hold when Alex finds the dead body of none other than Kyle himself. We're shocked. Bludgeoned to death by a nutcracker that the sisters admired earlier in the night. Hannah quickly becomes the prime suspect. Someone saw her slap Kyle in the face at the reunion dance. She'll need her sister, their sleuthing canine Watson, and their old friends and colleagues to help break this case wide open. While looking through old yearbooks and taking a stroll down memory lane, Alex uncovers a few secrets about Kyle. Now it seems like everyone had a motive to kill him. But when the suspects start becoming the victims, Alex and Hannah know they can't melt under the pressure. They must find the killer before they become just another yearbook memory. That is a Nutcracker Nightmare. This, I think, is book 2 in series. A Murder by the Seashore. And Rebecca was asking Mary, how did you like Thicker Than Water? What did you rate it? What did you think? Coffee's required. Murder by the Seashore by Samra Yu. Scarlett Gardner's dream was to open a bookshop in Southern California, but it soon becomes a nightmare when she finds the dead body of a customer and becomes the prime suspect. Southern California is where dreams come true, or so Scarlett Gardner thought. When she moved there and opened the Palm Trees and Page Turner's bookshop, she thought her boyfriend and business partner would be part of the story. When he leaves her for a better job, Scarlett finds herself struggling to keep her new business afloat. That's not the only thing she has to worry about. She discovers something underneath the pier by her bookshop that she didn't outline for her life story: the dead body of a book-buying customer. After Scarlett gives a statement to the police, she thinks her life can go back to business as usual. But when a lawyer representing someone named Lorelei Knight tells Scarlett that she now stands to inherit a small fortune, she's left with more questions than answers. Before she can make any sense of it, the police bring her in for questioning. The body she found was Lorelei Knight, and the evidence they have against Scarlett doesn't look good. Business is booming as Scarlett returns to Palm Trees and Page Turners, but for all the wrong reasons. Curious tourists don't want books, they want a glimpse of the bookshop killer. Who could really be behind all this, and why frame Scarlett? To clear her name, she's going to have to get creative and hope she can remain one page ahead of the killer. That is Murder by the Seashore by Samra Yu. We already looked around at Stalking Around the Christmas Tree yesterday in our cozies, and that is it for that page. Mary said she liked the book pretty well, probably a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. told by two characters that switch off and on by chapter. I figured it out fairly early in the story. Lots of personal angst, which I got kind of tired of. Yeah, angst is my issue. Let's see. We just click on Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. That's a big name. Set of presents this Christmas, a true crime podcaster is opening up a cold case. Madeline Martin has built a life for herself as the young owner of a thriving business, the Next Chapter Bookshop. Don't open up bookshops. Apparently, you find bodies all the time. Uh, the Next Chapter Bookshop, despite her tragic childhood and now needing to care for her infirm father. When Harley Granger, a failed novelist turned true crime podcaster, drifts into her shop in the days before Christmas, he seems intent on digging up events that Madeline would much rather forget. She's the only surviving victim of Evan Handy, the man who was convicted of murdering her best friend Steph and is suspected in the disappearance of two sisters, also good friends of Madeline's, who have been missing for nearly a decade. It's an investigation that has obsessed her father, Sheriff James Martin, right up until his stroke took his faculties. Harley Granger has a gift for seeing things that others miss. He wasn't much of a novelist, but his work as a true crime author and podcaster has earned him fame and wealth, and some serious criticism for his various unethical practices. Still, visiting Little Valley to be closer to his dying father has caused him to look into a case that many people think is closed, and some want reopened. And he has a lot of questions about the night Stephanie Kramer was killed, Ainsley and Sam Wallace disappeared, and Madeline Martin was left for dead bleeding out on a riverbank. Since Evan Handy went to jail, three other young women have gone missing, most recently a young college dropout named Lolly. 5 young women missing in the same area in a decade. Are they connected? Was Evan Handy innocent after all, or was there someone else there that night? They missed the one. Someone who is still satisfying his dark appetites. As Christmas approaches and a blizzard bears down, Madeline and her childhood friend Badger return to a past they both hoped was dead, to find the missing Lolly and to answer questions that have haunted them both, discovering that the truth is more terrible and much closer to home than they think. That is Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. And looks like Sophie Hannah wrote a new Hercule Poirot. Or have a bakery. True. Bookstores or bakeries, don't do it. Hercule Poirot's Silent Night by Sophie Hannah. It's December 19th, 1931. Hercule Poirot and Inspector Edward Catchpool are looking forward to a much-needed, restful Christmas holiday when they are called upon to investigate the murder of a man in a Norfolk hospital ward. Cynthia Catchpool, Edward's mother, insists that Poirot stay with her in a crumbling mansion by the coast so that they can all be together for the festive period while he solves the case. As Poirot digs into the mystery, he discovers that the murdered man was a retired post office master and by all accounts very well liked. The local constabulary's investigation failed to uncover how someone could have entered a hospital room and killed him under the noses of the staff. Cynthia's friend Arnold is soon to be admitted to that same hospital, and his wife is convinced he will be the killer's next victim, though she refuses to explain why. With no obvious motive or suspect, Poirot has less than a week to solve the crime and prevent more murders, if he is to escape from this nightmare scenario and get home in time for Christmas. Meanwhile, someone utterly ruthless, also has ideas about what ought to happen to Hercule Poirot. The Last Close Call by Laura Griffin. Forensic genealogist Rowan Healy has made a name for herself by helping investigators trace the family trees of violent criminals who have eluded justice for years. But the pressure of police work has left her burned out, and she's shifted her focus to helping adoptees find their biological parents. Austin detective Jack Bruner has spent his career tracking down vicious criminals, with the notable exception of the West Campus rapist, a meticulous offender who has never been identified. When a new victim comes forward, Jack realizes the target of his investigation is escalating, and Rowan is the only person who stands a chance of cracking this case. Moved by Jack's dedication to finding justice for the victims and the intriguing details of the case he lays out, Rowan agrees to help through her DNA research. As the data leads them down dark and twisty paths, Rowan and Jack must race against the clock to find a ruthless killer before he strikes again. Okay. West Hart Kill by Dan McDormand. An isolated hunt club, a raging storm, 3 corpses discovered within 4 days, a cast of moneyed, scheming, and unfaithful characters. When Private Detective Adam McAnnis joins an old college friend for the bicentennial weekend of the exclusive West Hart Club in upstate New York, he finds himself among a set of not entirely friendly strangers. Then the body of one of the members is found at the lake's edge. Hours later, a major storm hits, because it always does. By the time power is restored on Sunday, 2 more people will be dead. Dot, 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 dot. All right. That's all we've got. Turn that down. So maybe there's some interesting things to take a look at, check out further. Something intrigued your reading taste buds. Looking forward to reading sprints tonight. Me too. Me too. So tonight we've got reading sprints at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern Time. I'm sorry, East Coasters. That is the soonest I can get going on it. I get off work at 5. Takes about 30 minutes to drive home. Then I have to walk Keo and feed him and so forth. So that I do my best to get here as quickly as I can. So it is starting at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern Time. We'll be going for 2.5 hours. And bring your own book, work on a project or hobby, or if you just want to close your eyes and meditate, which also sounds lovely, you can do that. This is the time for you. Carve out that time. Do what you need to do to make you happy, because you have to put yourself first sometimes, because that's the person who will do it for you. Don't count on other people to do that for you. All right, that is it for today. Tomorrow we'll be looking at romances being released this week. And then on Thursday, we'll be looking at fantasy, sci-fi, and more cozy mysteries and so forth. All right. I hope you guys have a very good Tuesday. Drink lots of water or coffee if you need it. Take care of yourselves, please. I appreciate you guys so much. I love that you spend time here and love books as much as I do. Hopefully I'll see you tonight. If I don't, I'll see you when I see you. You guys have a very good day. God bless.